Welcome to Top 10 event. Now we will present you Top 10 bizarre and disturbing masturbation sessions. Number 10. Caught red-handed. The odd tale of 46-year-old Australian Keith Roy Weatherly, an out-of-work boy maniaker. Starts with him attracting the attention of the police for parking in a no-stopping zone near Nobby Beach on October 26, 2008. Beyond his poor parking choice, he was also partially dressed and playing with something on his lap. The police thought it was a weapon and they asked him to exit the vehicle. After refusing, Weatherly led the police on a short and slow chase. 20 kilometers later, Weatherly still refused to get out of the car and he had to be pulled out of the vehicle, where police hit him with batons and sprayed him with mace. That's when they realized that Weatherly didn't have a weapon. Instead, Weatherly was masturbating by sticking his penis in a 750 megaliters pasta jar. Number 9. Wet scream. In July 1994, 33-year-old Robert Chervrunt was staying at the Scottish Inn Motel in Lakeland, Florida. At about 12:30 a.m. he went swimming alone in the motel's pool. At some point he decided to stick his penis into the swimming pool pump. He was found 4 hours later by a motel clerk after calling for help. The clerk turned off the pump, but his penis had become so swollen that it became stuck and he couldn't remove himself. Paramedics had to lubricate him and pull on him for an hour until he popped out. He was treated for bruised genitalia and released from the hospital a short time later. Number 8. Burst pipe. In January 2010, an unidentified 40-year-old Southampton man decided to have sex with a stainless steel pipe. Because, a steel pipe just screams sex toy. Once he was buried deep, the man found that he was unable to remove his pipe from the steel pipe. He went to the hospital where the staff was also unable to dislodge the man from his date. They had to call in the fire department and it reportedly took 7 of them to remove it. Number 7. You'll go blind. Unlike a lot of people on this list, Ashik Rajamani was just pleasuring himself in a normal way on March 17, 2000. He wasn't doing anything freaky with weird objects or sticking things in places where they probably shouldn't go. He was just a 25-year-old man who had masturbated countless times before. The hemorrhage wiped out most of Rajamani's memory, left him half-blind in one eye, and he now suffers from epilepsy. He wrote a book about his experiences called The Day My Brain Exploded. A true story. Number 6. Some crossing. Wong. On August 6, 2008, 41-year-old Lazing found himself alone on a park bench in Lan Chian Park in Hong Kong. The bench had holes in it, so of course, he lay down on top of it and stuck his penis in one of the holes. Because, hey, why not, right? Zing's penis became swollen and his little Zing got stuck. 8. Luckily Zing had access to his phone, and probably rather sheepishly, he called the police who came to help. Rescue workers first tried to drain some blood from his penis with the hopes that it would relieve enough pressure to free him. Sadly, it didn't work and they had to cut the bench apart to take it to the hospital with Lazing still attached to it. At the hospital it took 4 painful hours to release him from the bench. 1 more hour in the bench and doctors were going to have to amputate his penis. Number 5. Vacuum cleaner. In May 1998, an unidentified 51-year-old man living in the ironically named Long Branch, New Jersey, was drunk and lonely. So, he decided to do what probably every male of a certain age has considered since the invention of the vacuum cleaner. Yes, that's right, the man stuck his penis in his vacuum cleaner. Unfortunately, what he didn't know about his vacuum cleaner was that there were sharp blades in it, and he chopped off half an inch off his penis. In order to avoid embarrassment, he called 911 and said that an intruder had broken into his house and stabbed him in the crotch while he slept. Number 4. Fork that mate. Unidentified 70-year-old man had to go to the hospital in Canberra, Australia, because he stuck a fork in his urethra. And it just wasn't a tie neither, he stuck the handle in, going 10 centimeters deep. He put the fork in for sexual gratification and it became stuck, which led to bleeding. After it had been stuck for 12 hours, he went to the emergency room where the doctors used forceps and lots of lube to remove the utensil from the man's penis. Number 3. Naughty Nanny. 31-year-old British nanny Nicola Pagenton was a healthy young woman, and when she didn't show up for work on October 15, 2009, her friends went to her house to investigate. Inside her apartment, they found her dead in her bed. She was naked from the waist down with a vibrator beside her, and a pornographic movie was playing on her laptop. The coroner said that she suffered a heart arrhythmia that was most likely due to sexual arousal. One of the most tragic elements of Pagenton's story is that if she had been having sex instead of masturbating, she would have had a better chance of surviving because her partner could have gotten help. Number 2. Nature lover. On December 29, 2009, Kirkland and his friends went out drinking. At about 1 a.m., Kirkland left his friends and headed home. That's when he decided to get into some drunken bondage with a tree. Using some rope, he tied up his penis and then tied himself to a tree. After he finished, he tried to free himself, but he found that he had tied himself up too well. While he struggled with the ropes, he managed to cut his wrists and he passed out. He was found naked except for his socks and boots the next morning by a man walking his dog. He died of hypothermia and blood loss. Number 1. Extra precautions. Autoerotic asphyxiation is the practice where someone chokes themselves while experiencing an orgasm. The lack of oxygen mixed with an orgasm creates a rush similar to cocaine, and it can be highly addictive. Obviously, it is a very dangerous practice. It is believed in the US that there are 500 to 1,000 deaths per year due to erotic asphyxiation. But it's hard to judge because sometimes families will cover up the cause of death out of shame.